Hello, it is Lexi, back with part 2 of our fresh pasta series. The first part was a semolina pasta, which is by nature vegan, just made with semolina and water. And today we are going to do a fresh egg pasta. We will be making a pappardelle, which is about 2 to 3 centimeter wide, long ribbon-like pasta. And so I must apologize, I had some camera issues and lost the footage of the mixing of the dough. But it is very simple. It is 1 egg to 100 grams of flour. 100 grams should be a sufficient portion for one individual. So just do the maths. If you are making for 4 individuals, 400 grams of flour and 4 eggs. Okay, now what flour to use? I would use 00 flour, but if you don't have, then just use all-purpose or bread flour. That'll work as well. I was keeping it simple this day and just made a very basic tomato and roasted butternut sauce. So you want to cut your dough into a few portions because you don't want to leave it all out to dry. So just put away what you're not using, cover it up, and just work with a small portion at a time. So here I'm just putting a little bit of flour on the machine so that when we put the dough through it doesn't stick. And we're just going to take a rolling pin and roughly roll out the dough into a shape of a square or rectangle. So here's our first rolling through the machine, and we're going to start at number 1. And we're just going to feed it through. It's very rough at this stage and we're still shaping. So you'll see that I will give it a little bit of a fold to try and just get the shape nice before I continue to roll it through the machine to make it thinner. So we're just rolling it through again, and then probably one more time to just make sure that I'm happy with the rectangle shape. Then we're going to put it aside and then just work with the others at number 1 on the machine and just get them all shaped. Right, so now we're going to move on to number 2, and we are going to take each sheet and feed it through. And then just keep moving along on the machine to number 3 all the way up to probably number 7 or 8 until the sheets are nice and thin. When you look through the sheet, you should be able to see your fingers. So it should be a little bit translucent. You don't want the pasta to be too thick, so you want to get it down nice and thin. And number 7 or 8 on the machine will do that for you very nicely. Just remember to keep flouring the sheets before putting them through because you don't want them to stick. So here I'm just cutting each long sheet in half, and any of the squiggly round edges on both sides, I'm just cutting those off. And don't throw that away, just cut it up into strips, put it in a freezer bag, and it's perfect to throw into your soups. So don't throw it away. So now we are going to make the pappardelle, and then I'm also going to show you the muffaldino. Okay, so get your pasta sheet floured very, very well, because we are going to be folding it and we don't want it to stick. So flour it super well. And just give it a fold up, and then you will need a sharp knife. And the pappardelle is about 2 to 3 centimeters wide. And any offcuts, just put aside in your freezer bag to add to soups. And it is that easy. And you have pappardelle. Flour it well and put it aside while you're working on the rest. Okay, so now I'm going to show you how to do the muffaldino. And for this, you need one of those little pastry cutters that give a squiggly edge. So the muffaldino would normally be the size of tagliatelle, not quite as wide as the pappardelle. And you would cut it like this, or you could fold it like we did previously and then cut it. So I'm just using the little squiggly edges for the pappardelle because I think it just bumps it up and makes it look so very pretty on the plate. And also the sauce catches to the edges. Just remember to keep flouring so that it doesn't stick. Okay, so I've cooked the pasta. It literally takes about 3 minutes. It's very, very quick to cook. And adding a little bit of pasta water into the sauce, and always finish it off in the sauce and combine the two. And here we have it plated up. I was just adding a little bit of thyme, which goes so well with the butternut. And there we have a beautiful, beautiful pasta. And I'm sure you can agree with me, it was not hard to make.